Hey everybody, Ben here. Thanks for being here. Thanks for showing up for yourself each and every day. So if you're from the short, you already have a backstory. If not, our word was depend. And that went into depending on validations, confirmations, reassurances with our supporting angel number card of angels are near, getting reassurance. There was a couple other things taking place right before I pulled that word up and got this card. And uh, at one point I was like, okay, well, a lot of people don't understand what I'm trying to say, and I was like confused by this. Which, of course, if it's in my head, and I already understand that, just me talking in general, it can be misunderstood at times. But it really has to get in. It has to do with uh, this idea of accountability. And I mean, I get it. No one wants to take accountability, and we only want to hear what we want to hear, and that's in no matter what situation. But when we get into these validations and these proofs with our team, whatever we're subscribed to, angels, gods, deities, God, universe, source, divine, archangels, whoever's in our court that we are connecting to. Right after that process of me thinking this, there was a feather there, and I pushed it off because, in my experience, I experience a lot of these kind of things, and if you spend too much time in there, you can kind of get lost, if you will. We are here, and otherwise I would be ungrounded. So I pushed it off, and I turned to my left, and there was this huge like flash of light about like this big, it was like blue and yellow. It was really cool. And all I immediately started, you son of a bitch, I worked so hard to get that feather there for you and you didn't even care about it. And I mean, it was a joke, but it's it's in the idea that we only want to see what we want to see, and it doesn't have to be just what I should hear. So we can see these signs and these confirmations or these validations of things. We'll have these intuitive thoughts and we'll push it off because it's not right in our face. We don't believe it. It's not how we wanted to receive it. And uh, we're dependent on this need. I know recently a couple of messages have been coming through going into trusting ourselves, our own intuition, and we may have made decisions based upon that or said things based upon that of what we felt to be true. And then after the fact, we don't trust ourselves or we don't feel safe in it, and we still need this confirmation and validation. It doesn't have to be anything instant. uh, we all can say that we need to take accountability if we're watching videos like this because we're still searching for answers, we're still searching for proof, and that's okay. But I'm saying is, when do we get to a place of trusting ourselves? All that reassurance and validation is great. We do it in every aspect of our life. Every action we do, we can look as a child up doing something and looking at their parent looking to be congratulated, or an animal, hey, I did good, where's my treat kind of thing, all the way up to adulthood in relationships with partners, romantic or platonic. We are trying to do something, achieve something, and receive some sort of validation or proof that, hey, you did do good. But when we think about even down to that level, we are our own worst critic. And even though people could congratulate you on things or progress or, sports, whatever we can look at, work, did you even receive it? Did you even acknowledge that you did do good? Yes, that's off track from where we started here, but it's in everything. And if we can start to reflect on that, even on these need for validation, that we trust ourselves, that we are good or doing good, or we made the right decision kind of aspect, is something to think about. I don't know if I really read this. Angels are near, getting reassurance, support, guardian angels, uplifting message, protection. Uh, it's, when we're looking at signs and communication in that aspect, oh, there's probably a lot going on that we're not seeing. We're not viewing it because it's not in the way that we think it should be. Or say like that instance, I saw that feather and I was like, whatever, I see these all the time. uh, I didn't really ask a question at this time, but hey, there was something else going on there. And maybe I should open my mind more to see more, not just on the feather analogy. I'm talking about any aspect in our life. There's a lot more going on, and if we don't see it or hear it the way we want to, it doesn't register. We don't want to believe it. It's not enough. It is not resolving. When we really do think about things, yes, at times there is guidance and direction and a blessing or a saving moment that whoever you're subscribed to steps in to, help or direct. But it's also us living our life and making these decisions. And when we are so dependent on the external, whether, as I just described, or people, places, or things to fall in line to prove itself to us, we don't have that in here. We don't have that trust to uh, validate our choices or our experience. So, getting to a place of building that, like I said, the past couple of days, that's been some messages coming through along that, just with karma and all sorts of things. So we have the Knight of Swords reversed, haste, uh, quick action, maybe sometimes in a bit of frustration or anger. And when, like yesterday, I spoke about karma, uh, it was more or less people maybe hanging on to past decisions, waiting for something to happen to somebody to prove that they got their karma or some sort of validation that they were right, that their thoughts about this person, manipulative behavior, whatever it was along, that was proven. And when we stay there, maybe we made this decision in this place, you know. This is an example. And we made that decision and we moved on it. And then we started to wonder, did I make the right decision? Where's the proof? Where's the reward? Whatever it may be that we were looking for, and we start to lose that trust in our own decision at the time. And the easiest way to keep explaining this, let's look at it. It was a very manipulative person, and we left because of that. And now reflecting back, the manipulation is now getting to us again because energetically we're still connected. It's like, oh boy, I really did make a wrong decision. I was wrong. They were right. I'm the bad person, or however it goes. We start to the same thing with a money aspect. Say we ran after something, uh, to be free, to uh, create our world of happiness on our own, and it's not coming in, and we're starting to reflect like, boy, I really did make a bad decision. I don't know what I was thinking. I should have stayed where it was safe and comfortable and proven. You know, it is, where is that trust inside? We then have Seven of Wands, a conviction. Look at the other side, lost confidence. We are uh, in a place we really need to hold that. Excuse me. Where did it go? Where was the individual in the beginning that had that saw it, that believed in it, and made that decision, and standing in that truth? Uh, when we really lose that trust, we're very vulnerable naturally, and a lot of things can come in and change that, and we really have to go back to the idea of the mirror. If we're not holding that confidence inside, that trust anymore, we're going to start having more things in our external prove that. It's all about what we are inside here, and all it is doing is just validating. Materialist, Four of Pentacles. Looking at the old card, I should say the original card, the guy holding the Four Pentacles. Uh, the way I see that is there's if we are in a very low place of lack, like struggling in a way that we're trying to get to some sort of stability, uh, we're way down. And if we actually had all this money, we're hanging on to it too tight, so we're way up. They're just two polar opposites, and they're both uh, very detrimental. There's no balance there. It is when you're up, and when you're down, you're down. You never think you're going to get out of it, and when you're up, when's it going to go away? Uh, it's it's very drastic the way that I see it anyway. And uh, past couple messages, I've been talking about very drastic emotions. When we, whatever we started with, getting back to a place and holding that feeling. Otherwise, I feel like things are coming in and they do this polar opposite, this drastic swing, and then we're looking for validation or some sort of proof again because we're feeling insecure about our decision or our goal or our plan, whatever it is, our self. And when we get in those places, when we're feeling it, we're embodying it, and then we're mirroring it, our energy. It goes out, our aura, however you want to look at it, and the external just proves that to you. It's just showing you what we feel, and then it gets worse. A star reversed, lack of faith. How can we carry this in this this swing? I'm not saying it's easy. It feels very uncomfortable, but uh, where did we a lot of times when I say when we make these attempts towards something that might seem impossible, but we felt it, we had that intuition, whether leaving a relationship or actually going after something that seems far-fetched, go back to that energy that we began with. Where did it go? Maybe we lost it, maybe we want to and we can't find it again, but that was the beginning. That was the punch. That was the source, the seed, if we will. And if we want to talk about agriculture, we can look at seeds. And yeah, we planted it, and it was all great in the beginning, and nothing's coming up, and I'm losing faith. It's taking so long. Why hasn't it sprouted yet? Did I do something wrong? Should I dig it up and look at it? Disturb its peace. uh, Impatience is coming through. We need that validation, that proof that how the message began. And uh, do we have the faith? A Two of Cups reversed, misalignment. This is a question we may be asking ourselves. Did I make a mistake? Back and forth. You know, it we can look at it that way, but obviously where we're at, the energy pull, the polar opposite, the swing is a misalignment in general. But I feel like, when we're going through these times and we're not seeing this validation or proof, it gives that feeling. Did I make a mistake? Did I do the wrong thing? And we really have to come back to this isn't at any means to plant doubt, but we are always where we are supposed to be. And if we're experiencing something, there's a deeper reason. Now, I'm not saying that to plant any doubt in ourselves, but where did it go? What got in the way? Is it this ultimate needing of validation or proof that our decision was correct? Because when we think about it, we don't have trust there anymore. Maybe we did in the beginning. Maybe we thought it was going to pan out quicker, or we were going to get some sort of validation to help us along the way. Let's go back to the feather analogy that I had in the morning. It wasn't really pertaining to that kind of idea, but it was there. And I was like, it don't matter. And then, uh, luckily for me, I had a further confirmation that you couldn't have missed. It wasn't, maybe we need to ask for those kind of experiences. Be like, yeah, I see those numbers all the time. They don't mean anything anymore. Or I see feathers or see certain things, whatever, is your cup of tea there, maybe ask for more, you know. But we're constantly seeking this. Got the Hermit sideways. I'll take it that way. Introspection and isolation. Being in the middle here, where may feel a huge disconnect without these validations. And when we go back to whatever I said, we only hear what we want to hear, we only see what we want to see, which is having a very closed mind to how this validation or this proof, whatever we need, comes through. Anytime we're manifesting or doing anything in general, going towards a goal, we have it pretty pinpointed in our mind of how we want it to go. And anytime it doesn't go that way, we think it might be a failure of some sort. It may not be coming because we've really closed down and funneled the avenue to it. Uh, Introspection in general is being open-minded to the truth, and not so much that we did something wrong or that we're incorrect, but that larger view, going back to signs or synchronicities in general, of I only see feathers and numbers, so that's the only time I receive communication or confirmations, however you want to word it. Really open up and get to a place to be open. Try automatic writing if you want, and just write down whatever comes through and put it together. Then it may not make sense. Maybe it will 2 days later. Get one last card here. Oh, looks like we already did. Three of Wands reversed. Impatience. Naturally, no one's to blame here. I mean, I get impatient too, so I'm not knocking anybody here. This waiting game, if we really think about it, no matter where we're at in our experience, what are we learning here? Sure, we might be learning patience, but what is creating the need for this validation or the confirmations? Trust. If we really hone it down, we don't have that trust, whether in ourself or source, God, divine, universe, angels, DTs, archangels, whatever you're subscribed to. It's missing. Otherwise, we'd be okay. We would know, hey, whatever it is coming through. Yes, I was right. Yes, I made the right decision. So we want that. And probably the more that we seek it or chase it or need it, grab a hold of it, the farther it goes away, because where's that trust? Something to look at, maybe to work on. And I felt said I love you came through. So if it resonates, feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will talk to y'all later.